What's up, everybody? It's Matt from Rocky's War Room, and I'm here looking at a sink today to show you how easy it is to clean Warlord resin. Basically, when you bring it out of the package, you get so excited you want to put it together. You can't do that right away with the resin. They even give you a little pamphlet and describe how exactly you're supposed to wash it a little bit. There might be some release agent left over on the product itself, and you need to get that off or the paint will not stick. So the first thing we're going to do is we take it out of the package, we separate it from the metal and the plastic and stuff like that, and we get all the resin pieces. And here are the resin pieces. This right here is the Outcast Rebel attack crawler, and these are the resin components to it. We'll use this as an example. You can use this on any of the Warlord resin kits whatsoever. It doesn't matter what it is. You just got to be very careful with the pieces. They're designed, the plastic for the resin, I understand, is designed to where you can drop it and it won't break or anything like that. It's not really brittle. It's actually good resin. But what we're going to do is we're going to clean this resin up. So what you need is a cup. So any kind of, this is a little solo cup, party cup, whatever you want to call it. And you also need a toothbrush of some kind, a dirty toothbrush, not one you brush your teeth with. And you need some sort of liquid soap, liquid dish soap. Any kind would work, as long as it's soft soap and it doesn't have any extra chemicals in it. And here's what I do. I take this cup, I'll go ahead and put a couple drops of our Dawn, or whatever you use, soap in the cup. About that much should do it. And then I get the water, and this is important. You don't want to use really warm water because warm or hot water will melt your resin. So I get it just lukewarm, just room temperature water out of my sink. And I will fill the glass, fill the cup about, 3/4 of the way, till you get some bubbly suds there, and I'll just drop the resin into the cup. Now I would typically let that soak for about a minute, maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes, something like that, and then I will come back in here and I'll get my toothbrush. I'll set it in the sink here and I'll grab a piece. Now I have actually have washed these already, but that's okay, I can show you guys. I usually let them soak, and what it's going to do is going to break up that release agent. You dip your brush in the soap just like this, and you start going to town on it. You just brush it into the cracks, get it inside all the crevices. You know, take your time with this, because if you do miss a spot, you could be spray painting, and all of a sudden, boom, there's a part of it that doesn't stick. And I found that it's best to use a toothbrush over most other things that I've seen, because it's got really small bristles. It gets in there, you can push down on it, it's not going to ruin anything, it's going to soap up real nice. And make sure you get inside the little leg ports there, and it soaks up real good. Get it good and soapy, you know you're doing the right thing. You keep dipping the brush into the water if it's sudsing up. And you got to cover the whole thing. Do not leave any stone unturned. I've had it where I cleaned the thing and I know I cleaned this. I know I cleaned the model. I know I cleaned it up really good. I know I did. And there was 2 little spots where the paint just would not stick on it. So get it good and soapy. And there you go. It's nice and soapy in your hand. What I like to do right away, which another thing I forgot to tell you to get, is a paper towel, or better yet, get some sort of wash rag, some sort of really fluffy absorbent wash rag, to where you can set these guys on after you're done brushing them. So we're going to rinse it off just with some cold water. Make sure all the soap is off of it, and then we're going to set it on our towel. So I got an old dish rag. This one's actually been ruined. So I use that, and I just kind of set it in there, wrap it up. That way it'll collect some of the moisture. Being very careful, especially if there's spindly parts, I'll just give it a good roll. And then it should be somewhat dry enough for you to set it to the side for the final drying. So we'll grab another piece here. This is a ball joint. And they still have the sprues. You guys can clip these off beforehand. That's okay, that's fine. The pour points. That's okay if you do that. I typically do it afterwards. I don't find that it really affects the miniature. I just I immediately get these out. I throw them in some soap and water. I get them soaking. I rinse them off, and then I start modeling on it. That way I know it's already clean and it's ready to go. So, drop that. Oh yeah, and if you're doing this in a sink, make sure this little hole here is closed up or bigger than or smaller than your parts that you're working on. So, all right, that one's done. We'll rinse it off. There we go. We'll grab our towel. We'll wrap it in it. We'll kind of roll it in it just to get the initial wetness of the water off of it. And we'll set it to the side over here. 2 more pieces. And like I said, I've already scrubbed these. Sometimes you can get 2 pieces in your hand, if your hands are big enough, like mine. You scrub them really good. You see how it's lathering up there. This is the back piece. And all the joints we're going to put glue. And it literally takes just a couple minutes. As long as this video doesn't take long to do. So don't be intimidated by cleaning resin. It's just like plastic. As long as you clean it, it'll take paint. And put a good CA glue on it, it should stay. Or any kind of super glue. So there we go, we're done with that. I'm going to dump our soapy water because we're done cleaning those. Get it out of the way. Rinse these off right quick. There we go. We're going to wrap them in our towel again. We're going to give it a good roll just to get that initial wetness off. We're going to open it up. And they're already halfway there. So we're going to take our towel afterwards with all our pieces. We're going to set it on that towel. And I like to, let me get this piece off. I don't know what that is. And I like to just wrap them in the towel, soaking up all that moisture all at one time. So there we go. So there you have your finished pieces. And I just let this sit until they're completely dry. And you'll notice when they are completely dry, you'll notice there'll be a film, or there won't be a film. They'll feel drier. They won't feel as, I don't know how to describe it other than they won't feel as moist. They won't feel as wet or slick from when you first pulled them out of the package. You should feel a big difference in the way after they're done drying compared to the way they are when they come straight out of the package. So I can actually feel a little bit of a, yeah, I can already feel a difference on them. They're not as slick. You can kind of feel the ridges. Even though it's smooth, you can feel it. It's got a little bit more friction to it. That's a good way to describe it. It's just got a little bit more friction than it did when the first time you pulled it out of the package. So that's it. That's how to clean resin. It's pretty simple, as you can see. I appreciate you watching this. It's a quick tip. I know it's not a very long video, but you can clean any Warlord resin miniature kits with this, or even any resin kit at all whatsoever. Yeah, I can already feel the friction on it. It's not as smooth. So, but you can clean any resin kit this way. It's really simple. Just some soap and water and a brush. It's not that difficult to do. So I appreciate you watching this video. Thanks for sticking with me. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Please like this video. Leave me some comments. And last but not least, as always, from me to you, ta-ta! And I'll see you in the next video.